Have a presentation from Mark Soja at Vogel and Matt Judge relating to Mayfair Apartments, senior housing expansion.
Joe, you want to move down after?
Oh, yeah.
That's right.
Just talking to the microphone if it's over, there's one over there. Is there one over there?
Or pick that one
Or
up.
pick this one up.
I'm going to move down.
You may want to stand to be able to refer to your...
Oh, actually, I stand here is probably easiest.
Just take the microphone, Mark. Speaking to the microphone.
I think I'd rather sit down.
I just want everyone to know, because I neglected to let everyone know that Jill Friedman, Doris Friedman's daughter, is here for the later discussion.
Okay.
Okay?
Great.
Thank you. All good? Sure. Okay. So my name is Mark Soja. I'm with Marathon Development Group. We're an affordable housing developer based up in Peekskill. Over the past 20 years, we've developed more than 1,800 units of affordable rental housing, about 1,000 of which are here in Westchester. And that includes our most recent project, Mayfair Housing, which is 74 units of affordable senior housing. What's unique about, or most noteworthy about Mayfair Apartments was that with only 74 units, we had more than 575 elderly, low-income seniors apply for housing. We rented the property right up. It's been almost 2 years. We're still full. And today, we still have more than 275 lower-income seniors looking for an affordable apartment. Based upon a tremendous need...
Lower income, could you quantify that?
Households earning
Can
less
you
than...
bring the microphone, Mark?
Households earning less than 60% of the area median income. Based upon a tremendous demand...
You can pick it up if you need to look that way.
Okay. Based upon...
There you go.
Based upon a tremendous demand and the space we have available at the site, we're seeking your support for the addition of... I just can't do it.
Talk into it.
Okay. Based upon a tremendous demand, is that working? Okay, I apologize. Based upon a tremendous demand and the space we have at the property, we'd like your support for adding 62 additional units of affordable senior housing. We reached the 62 units based upon the layout of the site and the town Greenberg zoning code. Under Greenberg zoning, senior housing can have less than one parking space per unit for affordable senior housing. Despite that, we went with 62 units because we have 65 existing spots. Thank you, Ed. So what's unique is, actually, and that zoning plays out very well. So this is the existing property that's been built now. And in those 74 units, we probably have roughly 45 or 46 people who applied for parking permits, about 60% of the people, kind of in time with the town's alignment with Town Greenberg's calculation of how it would work. So we have this parking that is all unused, and here is the admin building. So of the 62 units, we would do 14 in the administration building here. Our initial plan for the administration building had been that we were going to have, ideally, a not-for-profit supporter come in and provide services for the senior residents in our property. With COVID, that didn't work out. We spoke with the community college who's adjacent to us. They don't have a need for the space. They're happy to come and be involved with us. They're very cooperative and great neighbors, very supportive, but they don't need the space either. So we do 14 units in that building. They renovated in here, and then we do a new construction along the perimeter of this existing parking circle, and we'd have 48 units in that building. It'd be 2.5 stories with an elevator building. Based upon the wait list we have, we could rent it up in no time at all. The county executive supports the project, and based upon demand, we'd like the town to support the project as well.
This, because this is on county property.
Yes.
So doesn't the county have the right to do this on their own, or is this more like a courtesy, meeting where you're just advising us? And because I don't think there's any town approvals that are necessary. Is that accurate, Garrett?
Yes. So what is applicable is the seeker process. So a full environmental review would need to be carried out in connection with this project. So that looks at consistency with comprehensive plan, traffic impacts, stormwater, adequate water supply, and so on and so forth. So that needs to be done. In all likelihood, the town board would be best suited to oversee that seeker process. But to get back to your original question, from a land use board approval process, similar to other county buildings that are built, there could be what's called governmental immunity, which is essentially an exemption from the zoning process, and it runs like a parallel seeker process. So you are correct, there's really not like a site plan or, a variance review or anything like that. It would just be seeker review and then this potential governmental immunity process.
Are there amenities of any sort now?
So in the existing buildings, we have a community room, we have a computer room, laundry rooms, and we have a path along the perimeter of the background out here, and this is an active field. They can go out there, and there's some seating out there and participate in the field. We'd like to, so this section here of the admin building is a giant atrium. I don't have a photograph of it, but it would really be very nice for a community space that would be more inviting and include more people, because what we have now is just essentially a unit-sized space in each of these buildings.
We spoke, before the meeting, and, I had asked about sidewalks, and you said you might be willing to do a sidewalk down to Norwood Road?
Oh, no, I meant out along our property
Yeah,
line.
right.
So our property ends here.
Mark, what about some exercise space?
Then we will have a space.
What about a space where state-of-the-art exercise equipment is available to the residents?
We don't have that now. We do an exercise room. I don't know what state-of-the-art means, but we could do an exercise facility in that community, in this atrium area. There's a lot of space there, so we could have an exercise room.
I think that
as
would
part
be
of
excellent, because that's what a lot of people, particularly the people who are aging, they need exercise equipment. And, yeah.
I'm not averse.
That would be
I'm not
Yeah,
very
averse.
good.
and you had
Exercise room.
mentioned that during COVID, you weren't getting people willing to come in, and of course, that was understandable.
Correct.
But that doesn't apply now, though?
Yeah, so there are people at this, they often stay in their apartments. They come out, a lot that go out and walk around. As I said, there's a pathway along here, and I'll walk around the park and get exercise there. Some people have pets they take outside and walk. But there's not really an active or designated exercise facility now.
I'm not just speaking of exercise, I mean just activities in
Okay,
general.
so we have an activity room.
Okay.
We do have activity rooms. We have what are they, Matthew?
We're speaking with the college about some interchange with them, maybe perhaps allowing our residents use of their health and fitness facilities, and maybe coming in to tailor programming for our residents.
Would there be
wonderful.
transportation for them to get to those health and fitness facilities at Westchester Community College?
They're on a bus route, so I'm guessing, I haven't explored that, but I assume that the bus would stop at the college as well.
Can that be insured?
No.
Okay.
I can inquire. I said, I don't know what the answer is, but I
If
can
it
find
can't be
out.
insured, then can workout health equipment facility be provided in your,
Yes, I've already said I would put an exercise facility inside
Awesome.
some of the space.
awesome, thank you, Mark.
You're welcome.
So if you were to complete the build-out as you've described, is it a fact that you would work off of the same waiting list of residents that you currently have?
I'm amenable to that. I don't know what, there are special rules that apply to waiting lists. I don't know
Okay.
what that rule is, but it makes more logical sense to go through that waiting list first.
Okay.
But I don't know what the rules are. The Affordable Fair Housing Marketing Plan concept is very tightly regulated now, and
Okay.
I'm not an expert on that.
Okay.
Did you use Rose last time?
Yes, we did.
So
What
you-
was your question?
Rose Noonan, who is very meticulous in making sure rules are followed. Would you be
Yes,
using
she
her
is.
again?
Yes.
There was an issue, I'm sorry.
No, go on, it was interrupted.
There was an issue as to adequacy of water. Remember, we're up there with the hydrants. Has that been resolved, and is there sufficient water to handle the additional units?
Right, so At one point, you had raised a discussion, we heard actually through you, and not from the fire department, that there was a water pressure issue for the fire hydrants. We contacted the fire department, worked with them, worked with the water department, and we believe that's been resolved.
Okay, but that's to address the existing units. Will you be?
Correct,
You will be
of
doing,
course,
that's the
of
whole
course.
part of seeker, is we're going to have to investigate whether or not it's possible based on water supply.
Absolutely.
Okay.
What timing are you anticipating?
It depends upon really the length of the secret process. I think that's the biggest approval part outside our control. We'll come back with better drawings, construction drawings, once we get some more positive feedback and get the go-ahead to begin undertaking the expenses of outlaying it out.
Gary, how long does a secret process usually take?
Well, it all begins when we get, a full package. So, that could take a few months, I would imagine, to pull together, the intricacies of the site plan and, questions about water supply and things like that. So let's just assume that that would take 2 months perhaps. Not mandatory, but I would encourage, a public hearing of the town board. I don't think there's a referral to the planning board that's mandatory, but that could be something that the town board considers, so.
Or a public discussion.
Or public discussion. So let's assume that, let's have inputs as yes, town board having a public hearing, yes, town board soliciting planning board feedback. We're taking that application, we're sending it to the county, we're sending it to the New York State DOT, we're sending it to Westchester Community College. I would tend to think you're looking at, 4 to 6 month process or longer.
And has the civic associations been contacted or, reached out? Yet usually we notify, people in the community.
I have not reached out to the Civic Association yet, no.
And you've been, the senior housing has been in place for 2 years. I haven't received any complaints from anybody. Then representations were made that there'd be no kids in the school district. And has that promise been kept?
Yes,
So there's been no exceptions?
no exceptions.
And have you gotten any complaints from any neighbors, or residents? I haven't, but
There was complaint to building department, we took down some trees, we took down too many, we're clearing out some of the dead trees for opening that pathway along the back. One of the neighbors complained that we're taking down too many trees, and we actually ended up planting, how many more trees, Matt?
I think around 18 or 20.
When they're planting and replanting additional trees to afford them more screening.
Mature trees or saplings?
They were 12 to 16-foot trees.
That's great.
any other issues? Or so I'll post this link, this discussion on the website, and I'll let some of the people who live there know so nobody could say they're the blind side. When would you want to have the town board declare the, I guess, what is the lead agency? Is that?
Yeah, we would need time to receive the application and then send it out to the fire district, to the county. So I think it's too early to speculate right now about, when that process would start, but we'll stay in constant communication with Mark Screw.
Like your estimated, I know these timelines never are followed, but what's?
Right. Our construction process is an 18-month construction process. What the process is to get there, as much as Garrett says, it's conjectured.
When would you think that you'd file an application?
Oh, with Garrett for the, yes, I think we do it, the secret process, 90 days, Matthew?
90 days, sure.
You would send us a package within about
Within
90 days,
60
3
to
months?
90 days, yeah.
Okay, all right, so when we get that, we'll keep the board apprised, and we'll send it out to all the proper agencies, and we can take it from there.
And we would declare our intent, but that doesn't mean that the county, it's county property, they
They
very
may choose
well
to be the
could,
agency, yes.
I doubt it, but they very well could decide that they would be lead agency, and then that would be a different story.
Would it be possible, well, after, I post it on the web, I'll just, if I get any comments, I'll share them with you.
Please do.
And then maybe you could meet, as you've done in the past, with, some of the neighbors and the.
I'd be
school
happy to. They were
district.
delightful to work
Yeah.
with.
Who is responsible for secret for the first subdivision, as it were.
More recently, when Mark's group came back for the more updated development, I believe it was the town board. Historically, now you're going back to when the buildings were originally built, I can't recall.
Okay, well, I guess I wasn't going back that far.
Last go-around of phasing,
I
yeah.
wouldn't be surprised if it was the same the first time around.
I agree with that.
Okay, great.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks for coming.
Yeah, that's